Today we'll be looking at the 10 most venomous snakes in the world. So let's start. Rattlesnakes are fierce. If you're from the Americas, you'll be happy to know that this is the only snake in the Americas to make our list. Deadly and easily identifiable, the telltale sign that you've come across a rattlesnake is their rattle. The rattle comes from the button, which is gained every time the snake sheds its skin. Keratin makes up these rattling buttons, and it's the same material that your fingernails are made of. Each segment of button will rattle against each other, making noise. Younger rattlesnakes may have only shed once, and if there is only one button, there is nothing to knock against, making the younger snakes very stealthy. Even animals in the wild have evolved to know the sound of a rattlesnake and run the other way. They are super deadly. Australia and New Guinea are home to the deadly death adder. These fierce killers don't feed off of the normal rodents and small animals like most other snakes. They often on other snakes. Even some of the deadly snakes on our list are on the kill list of the death adder. A death adder can go from neutral position to a strike and back in a mere 0.13 seconds. Untreated human cases of a death adder bite have a 50% fatality rate. But there is good news. Antivenom is extremely successful at treating one of these deadly bites. The reason that this snake comes lower on our list is that symptoms often don't present for 24 to 48 hours. So a person may not realize the severity of their run-in with the death adder. The toxin of these snakes is so potent that it can cause paralysis and respiratory failure. Each bite injects 40 to 100 milligrams of venom in a person. Vipers are found in most parts of the world, but they're most common in Central Asia, India, and the Middle East. Nocturnal by nature, these snakes are outside after a rainstorm when they're most active. An extremely agile snake, the viper will strike quickly and the venom starts with pain. Swelling will follow and bleeding is another common symptom. A person may notice that the gums begin to bleed and the person's heart rate will be sporadic, with a quick drop in blood pressure. Blistering at the site of the bite is possible too. It's important to see snake bite specialist if you believe you've been bitten by a viper. The common symptoms of a viper bite are necrosis of the muscle near the bite, facial swelling, vomiting, 2 to 4 weeks of severe pain, discoloration of the site of the bite, cardiac failure 1 to 14 days after the bite. Cobra snakes have a unique head that looks majestic and may remind us of ancient Egypt. While cobra snakes look deadly, most are not. But if you come across the Philippine cobra, you need to turn around and run immediately. You may want to run in a zigzag pattern because these snakes carry venom in their spit. While most snakes need to bite to release their venom into a victim, the Philippine cobra needs to only spit to hit its victim. And with a range of 3 meters, they have a long distance range. It gets worse. If you've been hit or bitten by one of these snakes, you have a higher chance of death unless you seek medical attention within the next 30 minutes. The potent venom of this deadly strike can cause respiratory paralysis, death in 30 minutes, neurotoxicity of the heart, collapse, convulsions, abdominal pain, and vomiting. The tiger snake, one of the most unique snakes on our list. A sign that you're dealing with this Australian snake is their appearance. Yellow and black bands, the end of their tail is black in color and their head is fatter than most other snakes. Potent neurotoxin venom can kill a person in as little as 30 minutes. But there is good news. Death usually takes 6 to 24 hours after the bite. You'll be relieved to know the antivenom has greatly increased the odds of survival. Prior to the creation of antivenom, you would only have a 30% to 40% chance of living. And you would suffer a lot even if you did live. This snake's bite will cause sweating, numbness, localized pain in the neck and foot, difficulty breathing, and paralysis. The black mamba isn't the largest venomous snake, but in terms of speed, it's on top of the list of the 10 most venomous snakes in the world. If you think you can outrun this snake, think again. It can reach speeds of up to 20 km per hour. This is the fastest land snake on the planet. Found primarily in Africa, this snake is a fierce beast because it has the ability to strike 12 times in a row, injecting up to 400 milligrams of its poisonous venom. The venom of this deadly snake can kill 10 to 25 adults with a single bite. Talk about an unlucky fate for anyone bitten by a black mamba. Venom that's allowed to reach a person's veins will kill 50% of victims. Every bite is different, but you need to seek medical attention immediately. You may not live because death can occur in as little as 15 minutes or as long as, short really, as 3 hours. The common symptoms of a black mamba bite are tunnel vision, double vision, foaming of the mouth or nose, loss of muscle control, and confusion. Australia is filled with deadly snakes, but a Taipan snake bite is one that you wouldn't wish on your worst enemy. Even the strongest of men and women can't live from these bites without treatment. In all of recorded history, no one has lived after a Taipan bite without antivenom. Antivenom may help a person live, but expect a lengthy stay in the hospital afterwards. These deadly snakes have venom that clot their victim's blood and cause neurotoxicity. Clotting occurs in the blood, causing blockages to the veins and arteries. It's a painful and unpleasant death, and most people die within just 1 hour of a bite. The blue crate's beautiful appearance is all but ruined since anyone close enough to touch this snake has a high risk of dying. This snake is found in Asia and Indonesia, and it's a widely distributed type of snake. This snake is also called Malayan. Nocturnal in nature, these snakes are aggressive at night and have an extremely potent bite. The blue crate doesn't want to fight, and they more than often not try to hide away instead of engaging in a confrontation. These snakes feed on anything, and they'll hunt and kill their own kind too. When bitten by this snake, know that they're 16 times more toxic than a cobra, and the bite can cause loss of nerve function, muscle paralysis, cramps, tremors, and muscle spasms, and paralysis. An eastern brown snake has a non-threatening name, but these snakes come in a variety of species, and they're most popular in Australia where they have a large population. Even if you plan on going to one of the major centers in Australia, know that the eastern brown snake is around. They like the big city life for some reason. The bad news is that this is the most venomous snake in the world. Just 1 by 14,000 of an ounce of the venom will kill an adult. Talk about scary. But there is some good news. They prefer not to bite, and only half of bites have venom, so you have a 50-50 chance of not dying a slow and painful death if bitten. If you happen to catch an eastern brown snake on a bad day, they will repeatedly strike and may even chase after you. Even the small young member of this species have enough venom to kill. While this may seem crazy, if you come across the snake, stay very still. The eastern brown snake will only react to movement, so a person that is very still will have the best chance of survival. But if you do happen to get bitten by one of these snakes, the venom contains neurotoxins and blood coagulants. What does this mean? The snake venom will cause your blood to clot and will also impact your nervous system, causing you to lose function and movement of your limbs. Since these snakes bite sometimes have venom and sometimes not, that is why it is on number 2 and not number 1 in our list. Australian inland taipan is one of the most feared snakes on the planet. The beautiful brown or golden color of this snake shouldn't be admired. If you thought a rattlesnake was deadly, this snake's venom is 10 times more potent. The venom of this snake is enough to kill 100 humans with a single bite. So to say that the inland is deadly is an understatement. There is some good news though. No fatalities are recorded from an inland taipan. They are not aggressive, and humans rarely see these snakes in the wild, which is a very good thing.